bit last night. Let's go for a drive. This morning is what our video is going to be on. As you can see here, my headlights are full of condensation. So in this video, we're going to be showing you how to remove condensation from your headlights as well as fix any cracks that might be in them. My name is Joshua and welcome to Car Creations. Now, don't click away if your vehicle isn't a BMW. This process can be used for a wide variety of vehicles, whether it be a Honda, a Mini, a Lexus, a Lamborghini. But first, for a cold start. Let's go find a place inside where we can do this, because it is -1 out here apparently. It feels much colder and snow everywhere, and well, it would not make for a very happy situation. So let's go find somewhere inside. So the main premise of what we're going to be doing here is to have warm air circulating through the inside of the headlight. So what we're going to do is remove 2 bulbs. We're going to attach a hair dryer onto one with some tape and let it circulate through and then out the other bulb hole. Now remember, this doesn't just apply to this BMW, it can apply to basically any vehicle across the board. Okay, so our first step is going to be to open the hood and remove the 2 top bulbs from the headlight. You could take your headlight out to do this, but that involves, for me, taking the front bumper off, taking the inner wheel well liner off and the wheel, and that's a whole mess of stuff that I'd really rather not have to do. And I know a lot of other vehicles are a lot simpler to take the headlight off, so that is another option. So let's get started by removing these 2 lamps. So I'm going to be using a T20 bit to remove each one of the screws on these 2 lights here. Obviously, if you have a different vehicle, you'll do whatever you need to do. A lot of bulbs are just like a twist and pull out. On a lot of cars, BMWs, of course, always more complicated. Make sure you don't lose any screws inside your engine bay. You want to be careful when you're pulling it out because there's a big rubber gasket seal around it, which can also be a part of problems. And then you want to remove the little tab so you don't have this wire hanging onto it. You can just take the light right out, set it in a dry place. Inspect the seal on the inside of the light, no matter what kind of seal it is, to make sure it's in good condition, because that is also a very big problem of condensation on headlights. The seals aren't that great. So this one looks perfect to me. So I'm just gonna sit that one to the side. Never had the luxury of working inside a shop before. This is amazing. The second one here, harder to pull out. Remove the tab. And this seal isn't quite in great condition. There's a little bit of, I don't know, it looks a little weird on the side. So when I put it back in, I'm gonna put a little bit of silicone on there just to make sure it's not leaking from there. And if you look here, there's a very nice round hole. Get a hair dryer. If you don't own one, like I didn't, go to Canadian Tire or something like this one was like 21 bucks. This one right here, I'm gonna tape it like that, because when I did it earlier, it took me about an hour of air circulating through there to get all the condensation. So let's get this taped up and turned on. Spend a little bit of time when you're taping these up, so it doesn't fall off and you're interrupted in the middle. And there we are, all nicely taped on. We're just gonna turn the hair dryer on low, and it's gonna circulate out of this other hole here. It's gonna go in, circulate in the headlight, and go out the other hole there. And eventually, we'll see this condensation eventually disappear. I can actually feel it coming out of this other hole here. It's going in, circulating in the headlight, and coming out the other hole there. Just gonna shut that off while we talk. So on both my headlights, the crack is right here. I don't know if this is some sort of manufacturer defect or something like that, but I saw on the Facebook forums somebody suggested that it could be there, so I'm assuming it's a pretty common problem with a lot of the BMW headlights. So I'm just going to use a T30 bit here, and there's a few screws in the front of the bumper there. I'm just going to have to remove to allow me to pull the top part back so I can get at the crack there and repair it. This will take a lot less time than I thought it would. It's about 15 minutes in. As you can see here, lots of the condensation vapor is gone already. There's just a little bit, mostly along the top there, and there's a little bit along there. While we're waiting for that one headlight to dry, I'll show you the crack in a minute, but the actual plastic on the headlights is made out of plastic called polycarbonate. This is the specific adhesive that we're gonna have to use, and what it specifically does, it chemically welds the crack, and it's called IPS number 16, and you have to make sure that it's specifically for polycarbonate plastics. Now, this will not work if the crack on your headlights is on the black rear housing. Do a heat weld for it, or use the specific solvent for like an ABS, PVC, or polypropylene kind of weld. Almost done here. It's just a tiny little bit of condensation right in here. Remember, it's not just clearing here, it's clearing all inside there, and all the little electronic bits in there, it's removing and wicking all the moisture away. Okay, it's been about an hour and a half total. Water's totally out, so let's move this hairdryer on to the next one. You can see along here that the crack goes along there and down here, and then it goes all the way down there as well. I forgot to hit record, so I'm just kind of showing what I did. I just added a little bit along the entire crack's length, moved it around with the stir stick here, the coffee stir stick, to allow it to actually get into the cracks, over top of the cracks, so that it can adhere properly. Now on the glue, it says it has a 5 to 6 minute working time, which means you can kind of like work around with it until then, and then a 10-minute fixture time. So that's when that's good and solid, and I can shut the car up and close everything and head out of here. We'll leave that to start setting here, and we'll start putting the two bulbs back in here. I've already done the other side there. We'll put the two bulbs back in, and the one bulb that had the bad seal, we'll add a little bit of silicone on there to make sure that there's no water getting in through there either. So bulb number one, wire back in here. The other one here, just gonna get a little bit of silicone here, place it around on this area here that needs a little bit of love. Okay, it's had enough time to set. We're gonna put the bumper back together now. Okay, let's go for a cold start inside the shop. Excuse the dirt on the bumper. It's really loud. That was so much fun. I've never done that inside before. That's our video for today. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you found it helpful. I'll let you know if there's more problems with them. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe, and stay tuned for plenty more exciting content to come. Don't put that last part in. Yikes.